Welcome everyone. We are here today for the latest policy podcast, What's Up Sri Lanka. We are talking about politics, policy, economy, environment,
and latest update around the world.
I'm Madhuri.
I'm Nuwan.
Let's talk about local news today. Shall we start with the neighboring country, India?
Yes. When it comes to India, it's strategically a very important country for us, especially one of the leading economy and one of the strongest country. But that is not what we are going to talk about.
That's right. We are going to talk about Mannar, how Adani is planning on building a wind power plant.
That is massive project, more than $400 million project, and that project has some issues, especially when it comes to procurement. And the recent government has also made some claims that they are going to revisit the procurement process, and seems to be very interesting.
It is interesting. So what I see here is, Nuwan, in OTI also we are discussing a lot about clientelism and patronage politics. We know how Adani has certain ties with Narendra Modi's government. Some people are accusing that there are some backdoor deals and some favorism that is playing out in here, and they are giving a special price or a different tendering requirements for Adani itself. What do you think about it?
Actually, there was some fundamental right petition as well, and the petitioner claiming that this has not, the procurement process is not being properly followed, and they are also claiming that the tariff percentage it's not beneficial for Sri Lanka.
Really?
They are claiming in the long run Sri Lanka will face some financial losses, and as we have experienced previously, this could be very interesting development.
It is interesting. What do you think about the environmental impact? It's a good bird migratory area, if I'm not wrong. You know
Yes.
about this better than me.
Yes, it is very crucial for environmental perspective. Actually, this is an area where we can observe a lot of migrating birds. So it will be very crucial for ecosystem wise. So if we build such massive project in that particular area, we will lose that ecosystem. Especially, we will not be able to attract these birds, and the environmental impact assessment also bit of a argumentative, because there are some claims that the assessment has not been properly done, but we don't have any data to back those claims, but there are some allegation level against.
And the other thing that I want to mention is the Setu Samudram. We know there's a bit of history between India and Sri Lanka when it comes to Setu Samudram.
Yes.
It goes back to the era of Ramayana.
Yes.
I don't know whether it's true or not, it's just a book, but
Yes.
people believe it, so I think we should keep that to them. Interesting thing about this wind power project is fundamental petition that you mentioned about, it was filed by the Catholic Church together with some experts. And I see a certain social cultural issues as here, like the Hindus, Catholics, and different. I mean, altogether, Nuwan, when I look at this issue, I see a multifaceted approach and different issues. It's quite an interesting topic to talk
Of
about.
course.
Again, I would like to go to another topic, a news actually, which is also related to power, but not so clean, I believe. So recently, the former commissioner, the Janaka Ratnayak, the QCL commissioner, said that the electricity bill can be reduced by 30%. Yes. It is a really challenging and a really concerning statement, I would say.
Yes,
what do you think?
Janaka Ratnayak, considering his background, we can't just ignore his claims. So we have to consider his statement. But at the same time, I have to remind that President Anura Kumara Dissanayake has also recently claimed that he's gradually reducing the cost of electricity bill.
When was this one?
I think this week, I guess.
This
but
week?
yeah,
Okay.
President had a meeting with investors, and during that meeting, President has expressed that his willingness to actually reduce the cost of electricity bill, but not in a manner that they have promised during the election. So it was like they will gradually reduce it, but not in a manner that they have claimed during the election. So, but it is very important because in order to attract investment, we have to have a sort of a mechanism that where we can attract them. So, like electricity cost is one of the main reasons that we can
when you look at the regional players, obviously, when you look at the regional players like Bangladesh, India, and even Vietnam, their labor cost is low and their production costs are way lower than how we do it. Of course. So it's a major concern when it comes to investment and the businesses in Sri Lanka and people who are thinking about foreign direct investments. And if you want to attract more to the country, again, this is going to be a major issue.
Of course. And one more thing, like recently, several industrial giants have moved their plants away from Sri Lanka due to these electricity bill issues. So I think it is essential to government to consider this and maybe give some concession.
When the Janaka Ratnayake made this statement about the 30% reduction is possible, I saw news today that Anura Kumara Dissanayake, our president, has been accusing the media institutions and the politicians about making different statements. And I mean, as a person, as a citizen, I believe we have the freedom or the liberty to express ourselves, and even if it is a former president or a politician, we also can make some statements and say things, no?
Yes, but ironically, the NPP, they were very vocal about protecting freedom of speech and media freedom, but all of a sudden, less than 3 months, they just got into power, but now they are talking about some issues with the media. I think it's very concerning.
It is concerning.
But at the same time, I have to mention some media. Especially one of the leading media institutes, the owner of that particular institute is contesting during the election, and actually that particular person is claiming that was seeking votes to become the next opposition. So at the same time, this will be a very interesting development, because if someone with such power when it comes to media institutes and becoming the opposition leader, I don't think they will do the very balanced reporting. But I don't think this is the right time to comment on. But I think it is essential to protect the protect the freedom
of the media,
and fundamental rights of the people.
That's right. We have to talk about the Prevention of Terrorism Act and what this. There has been some speculations, news during the last couple of days about this, and how NPP government previously has been talking about it. And I would like to quote Parliamentary Minister M.A. Sumantiran's quote. He also quoted in his ex-post that he participated in a certain event back in 2022 to abolish the PTA.
Yes, actually NPP was very vocal about PTA, or Prevention of Terrorism Act.
Abolishing the PTA.
Yes, so they were very vocal about it, but now they are claiming, the act is okay. There's nothing wrong with it. The only issue is how we going to use it. But it's like that.
It's contradicting,
yes,
isn't it?
And it's like having a knife. They are claiming, we can harm someone, but at the same time, but we are only going to use it to cut vegetables. Some sort of a manner like that. But I don't think that's what people expected when they are giving power to NPP. They were very vocal about it, and they had some seminars, maybe a lot of workshops about it. But it's a very interesting development.
I remember that how they were very vocal about abolishing the PTA, especially if I talk about PTA in depth. This was used in certain times to prevent people's rights, especially the minorities' rights, and it's a concerning matter. Actually, this whole discussion came through with another news that I'm going forward to now. This happened in Arugambe, and from Arugambe we are moving to another topic which involves USA.
Yes.
And last week only, US Embassy issued a travel advisory about Sri Lanka, and they alerted their citizens that certain precautionary methods to be followed if you're traveling to Sri Lanka. This made quite a spark among the communities, and especially the diplomatic communities as well, because so many other embassies also followed this advisory notice. What I wanted to highlight here is, it's important, these kind of advisories for their citizens, but what about the impact of those advisory notices to Sri Lanka? We are a booming country, and we had so much trouble back then, and now only we are getting back into the tourism.
For me, this is very interesting development, like I said, because we are just trying to improve our tourism and get more tourism to promote tourism. But I think we have to look at the positive side of it. Now everybody is trying to find about what Arugambe is, but government or the authorities fail to capitalize it. We should use that to promote. We should use the Arugambe or the beauty of it to promote it. Of course, there were some issues and travel adversaries, but I think we should capitalize it and cash in this opportunity.
Of course. I totally agree with you, Nuwan. One other thing that I want to highlight about this news is, I would like to talk a bit about how this all started. Arugambe is a paradise. I've been there and I loved it, especially when it comes to surfing. There's no other place in Sri Lanka. Arugambe is the place for surfing. And it has been quite popular among the Israeli tourists, and they have established one synagogue there, which is like their religious temple kind of a thing. And this whole adversary thing and the terror threat was
I've seen that on X actually, but I don't know whether it's true or false.
I'm not quite sure, but that's how people have been explaining this situation so far. I believe since Arugambe is a predominantly Muslim area, we can definitely relate to these newses, because with the global situation in Gaza and how Israel-Iran conflict is coming up, obviously it could be an issue, and let's see how this folds out in the next few weeks. And I hope that it will move further and more tourists will come.
Of course.
Without considering this.
And let's hope the government will capitalize this and promote the Arugambe as well.
Of course, yes. I think this is going to be the most interesting topic that we're going to talk about today. US elections.
Of course. It's a big battle.
A close battle, I would say.
I would agree, because Harris and Trump, I think this is one of the interesting US presidential election, because we have experienced a lot of fake information, fake posts, especially on X. If you've seen, a lot of AI generated content has been shared on multiple platforms. If I'm not mistaken, this is the first election that we have seen two opponents are directly claiming false allegations, leveling false allegation against them. And have you seen what Simpson predicted?
Oh yes, I've seen it. Simpsons is a very popular TV show in America, and they are quite popular for something else also.
Of course. Some people say they have kind of an ability to predict the future,
right.
and there was some prediction that Kamala will be the president.
I saw the tweet.
And how she's going to be the ex-president, and if she becomes, if I'm not mistaken, she will be the first female president in the US history, and she claimed and she will be the first black woman to hold this position as well.
When you look at the US election, you see a lot of, as you said, the fake news, manipulations, different campaigning techniques. It's quite full of news, and I'm totally into it. If you read the Twitter day by day, there are different news, different.
Yes.
And I saw another thing, Noah. Did you see that there was a news about a ballot box getting burned in Washington?
I have seen it.
Yeah, somebody have put a device into the ballot box and it caught fire. So these are the news that are coming from USA, and most preferably we will be able to get someone on board next week to talk about the US
Yes.
elections. I believe after 5th of November, if
Yes.
I'm not wrong, we will be able to have a guest in our show to talk about how US election went on in USA.
Yes. And
Someone who have experienced it
yes,
firsthand.
and all the topics we've discussed, we will share some links down below, so you can refer further information, and feel free to comment.
Yes, feel free to comment, and if you have any questions, please comment on our comment section and follow us for more information. We'll be with you next week also. Thank you.